Ready for a fresh start? Your happy place is right here on BNC's Taste of the Town with Marjorie Wardlaw.
Awesome!
Where life in the kitchen is fun.
This meal is just rocking and rolling.
Flavorful.
Delicious.
Oh, and Southern charm.
This is my handy dandy.
Yep, she's got all that too.
Boom, and that is that.
And now, your host for Taste of the Town. Here's Marjorie.
Okay, you guys, I have been thinking about the cold weather, and Gary has been sitting in front of the television, so excited and happy that he's able to get his football games again. And always he's either, telling me he wants this or that or the other. You got to have food. You have to have snacks when you are watching football. So I started thinking, what would you guys maybe want to have while you're watching the games? So I figured, hey, chili, and then let's make maybe a little fixings bar to go with it. All the great things that we can maybe put on top of it. So I'll have to tell you guys something. I was a cheerleader in high school. I loved being a cheerleader. I did not know anything about sports, really, okay? Isn't that awful? I can remember doing cheers, and we would say, push them back, way back. I did not know who we were pushing back, why we were pushing them back, but I knew the cheer. And I can remember, any of you other cheerleaders, remember 1st and 10, do it again? Do you think I knew what that meant? What did that mean? 1st and 10, 10 what? It took me marrying Gary to actually start learning a little bit about sports, okay? So this looks pretty good. But I tell you what, before I chop the garlic, let me go ahead and start the peppers and the onions, and let's get those starting to saute. Let's get these 4 cloves of garlic just kind of chopped up. So we've already done that. So in the pot right now, I have the green pepper, the yellow pepper, I have the onions, and I have the 4 cloves of garlic. And I just took a little oil to start sauteing that. And in just a couple of minutes, what we're gonna do is go ahead and we will add the ground beef to that. Yeah, see, this is looking good. Can you see inside here? So you can see how this is cooking down. But let's just put this, and this is 2 1/4 pounds. That was the package that I bought. Mostly I would just say get like 2 pounds, but sometimes when they are already pre-packaged, this was 2 1/4 pounds, and that's fine because a little more meat is never going to hurt, especially it's not going to hurt Gary, all right? I'm going to take my garlic, I'm going to take my complete seasoning, and actually later I'll add a little more salt and pepper, but right now I want 2 tablespoons of garlic powder. This is where I would say you check by initially starting off with 1 tablespoon, unless you know that you guys like flavorful things. Then you're gonna be okay to go ahead with 2. This is my complete seasoning. I'm gonna start right now with 1. As I begin to cook and put the beans and the tomatoes and all that in with it, I'll see if I go for my whole 2 tablespoons or a little less. And then sometimes it's just about even how my taste buds are that particular day. Sometimes I even want a little more. So I have a basic recipe, but there are days when I feel that I'm needing, if I'm doing something and it's sweet, and I have that recipe that I'm using and it says 1 amount, well, that might not satisfy me. So I may need it to be a little sweeter. I just increase it. And, just the opposite. If it's, too much, I don't put as much. So again, this is why I say, I'm raising this heat back up, you guys, to like a medium high. Because with all of the meat in here, you know, I could just sense and feel that, you know, it was bringing down the temperature. So I want that to keep cooking, you know, pretty well. But I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna get, I tell you what, this is gonna be open. I'm gonna open all of these things together and I'm gonna have them ready so that I can add them into the pot and we can talk about that more. So don't go anywhere. When we come back, I'm gonna transition a lot of this over to the stove. See you in a second.
Don't go away. Taste of the Town with Marjorie Wardlaw will be right back. Welcome back to Taste of the Town. Once again, here's Marjorie.
So we're ready to, you know, get the rest of these ingredients in that chili. I've got everything open like I told you guys. So I love to take my beans and just rinse them. So I just take and put them all in a strainer. And that way I don't have all of the different, you know, flavorings that come from, you know, what they have in the beans. I want the beans. I'm gonna give them my own flavoring. So just take them and just rinse them off. Now they don't have to be like 100%, you know, clear of everything, but that's what I want to do. Let me grab a couple of paper towels here to put under this. So we're gonna just take these right over. We're gonna put those right into that pot. And the beef stock, we're going to do 4 cups of this. So this is a 32-ounce container. So we're going to put all of that in here. Also, when you add the other things, the tomatoes and the tomato paste, and the diced tomatoes, if you feel that your chili is a little bit thicker than maybe you want, you can always add, you know, a little water to it. Just, you know, again, you don't want to mess up the flavors. That may mean that you have to work with your seasonings, but that's okay. So let's get this stirred up. The meat, the vegetables, the beans, and now we have that beef broth. And I love the different colors of the beans. You know, you could certainly use just the dark red kidney beans. You can use just the light red ones. You don't want to just have, I don't think, just pinto beans, but you can do white beans. Put whatever beans you want. But I love the variety, the colors, because it just makes the chili look to me just that much more appetizing. So let's say that you are someone, you don't want beans. You know what? You can make your chili without beans. One thing that you might even consider doing is you could use like portobello mushrooms. Take them and then just after you have, you know, cleaned them, then you want to chop them up and you can have them in bite-sized pieces. But that will give you a texture that's something to chew on. Portobellos are really good. A lot of people will just not even have a meat. They will even just use the portobello. So you don't have to have beans and you don't have to have the portobellos. I'm just giving you an option. But there are some who say, well, I really just don't eat beans. So what did I tell you? It's your chili. Don't put beans in it, all right? But this is looking really, really good. So what we want to do now, guys, I'm going to start. Here are the green chilies I told you about. So we're going to put this whole can. And because, again, Gary and I like jalapenos, I am just going to go ahead and put, along with the juice, this is just something, again, for me, this is optional. I don't even want you to feel that you have to even have them on your bar, because if you don't like hot, spicy stuff, don't use it. But if you know that you do, and maybe you even want something a little bit, you know, hotter than that, go with some Scotch bonnet or some habaneros or whatever. That's going to be a lot more. But again, just whatever you like. This is cayenne pepper. So we're going to use like about for me and Gary, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to use a teaspoon. If you don't want a teaspoon, start with a quarter, maybe even go with a half. But I've done it. And if I only do a half a teaspoon, for us, it's not hot enough. All right, so we're going to do that. We have tomato paste. I love using these tubes. You know, usually if you open up a can of tomato paste and you know you want 1 or 2 tablespoons out of that can, you feel like it's such a waste because now you're either trying to find something that you can do that will require you needing to have some tomato paste so that you can use it up and not just throw it away. You can freeze it. I find when I have done that, when I thaw it, I don't know. I personally just don't think that works that well for me. So I'm doing 2 tablespoons here of tomato paste. But this way, you just put your top back on it and you can just put it in the refrigerator and this will be just fine. So you can do that. Where's my chili pepper? I mean, my chili powder. Again, this is a key ingredient when you're making your chili, but it also still goes back to your taste buds. I usually say start with 3 tablespoons. See how you're enjoying it. See what the flavor profile is. Because I tend to go more, I like about 4 to 5 tablespoons. But let me take this off to make this a little bit easier. But I'm going to start off with about 3.5 for you guys, okay? Let's start off with that. And we'll see, you know what? Let's see how my taste buds are today. So that's 2 and 3. This is cumin, okay? I like it. I love it. It's almost essential. Again, I'm going to start off with 2 tablespoons. You see, I put 2 because that's usually what I use. So 2 tablespoons of that. Onion powder, a tablespoon. You might want to go with a teaspoon to start. But again, I like my chili, you know, spicy. I want the flavors. So we got that. Woo! Again, this might seem like work, but it really isn't any work, you guys. So let's get all of this stirred up. It is starting to smell like chili also. This is gonna be so good. Get that back up to like my medium-high heat to get started. And I'm gonna have that little surprise ingredient for you guys in a minute. I was trying, okay. So I wanna go with a tablespoon of sugar, and I may decide when I taste it later to add another maybe half a tablespoon, but this is my surprise ingredient, the cocoa powder. You're gonna say cocoa powder in chili? Yes. I learned this maybe watching some cooking show however long ago. I tried it, then I tried it again, and I don't know, I think there is a depth of flavor it brings. You don't even taste, it's not like you're tasting cocoa at all, but you will say, it tastes so good, it tastes rich. I don't know what it is. I believe that you're gonna say, must be that cocoa powder. So try it, okay? You will be surprised. So let's get my cocoa powder, a tablespoon of this. And because I'm spilling a little bit by using this same spoon, you guys, I'm gonna tell you, all right, that's gonna be a tablespoon plus what little you saw fall in there. If I was Marjorie, honestly, okay, sorry. Let me just put that over there. I'll wipe that up. But let's get this stirred up. I know I'm gonna need to add some salt and some additional pepper. Again, for me, I want a tablespoon of oregano. There we go. Now you might be saying, girl, I am not gonna be doing all that. Yes, you will. You try it, and then you try it with the pack, and you're gonna say, I like that which I made totally from scratch. That's gonna be so much better. So let me get a spoon. You always have got to taste, because you need to know what it is that you're dealing with, okay? So let's just get a little bit of this. Let's see. That is so good. I need a little more cayenne. Just because I know that I do. So I think I'll do like about a half of a teaspoon. So there's another half a teaspoon of that. I definitely want to put a little more chili powder. So I did, what, 3.5 before. So I'm gonna go ahead and put another tablespoon. Hey, how about another tablespoon and a half? I'm going with my 5, okay? I know what I like. And I guess that my taste buds today are saying, girl, go bold, go bold. So, I definitely want to put a little salt and a little pepper, but really not a lot. So, salt and pepper. And guess what? And see, for me, I think that the consistency with the 4 cups of beef stock is fine. I don't need to add any water to it. So I'm loving how this is looking. I wish, again, that, you know, you could just even be here to smell it. I'm gonna just give another taste. That is so good. That is absolutely delicious. I just think, I wonder, do I want some more cumin? It's probably just fine. You know, let's let it go ahead. We're gonna let this begin to come to a nice little, I want a nice little slow boil. Then I'm gonna cut it down and we're gonna let it simmer. And it's gonna simmer for about 15-20 minutes. Give an opportunity for all those flavors to come together. And when it does, then you want it to just kind of sit for a little bit. I'll come back and I will check it then to see if all those flavors are exactly where I want them. Because sometimes you tweak things, okay? Let's just start off with 1, okay? So we're just gonna make nice little, if you wanna do pickled ones, you can do pickled ones. I tend to prefer the fresh jalapenos and the green onions. Wanna just take and just cut those up in rounds. Come on guys, stay up there. Don't fall. Oh my goodness, a nice big old bowl of chili. And you know what? We got some nice cold beers out in the refrigerator, so I'm gonna bring a couple of those in. I'm gonna go ahead and do this, then I'm gonna put it all together And I'm gonna show you guys what all of this is looking like when we come back. So I'll see you guys in just a minute.
Don't go away. Taste of the Town with Marjorie Wardlaw. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Taste of the Town. Once again, here's Marjorie.
Push them back, way back. All right, y'all, that's my cheer because football's about to come on. The chili is ready. Don't y'all be laughing and talking about my cheer, okay? Because that was the Central High School Purple Pounder. But anyway, doesn't everything look beautiful? You saw that wonderful bar that I made up for the chili. And remember, you can expand on yours, do whatever you want. This just gives you some ideas. Let's see what we got going on here. I'm gonna eat it like a little bit of this, a little bit of that. We are the Pounders. No. Who's playing today, Gary? I need to find out who's playing. I don't even know. See, I told y'all I'm bad with the football, but I tell you what, I'm not bad with this chili. Ask me for the recipe. I will get it to you all. I love you. Take care of yourselves. And until the next time, this is Taste of the Town.